You asked me, so hey, beginning of the year, so what's your goal this year with your podcast production business? And I told you, I said, I don't know what was my goal at that time. It was probably like 7,000 euros, something like that, you know. And you were like, why not 20? Why not 30? And I was like, oh, no, no. I'm a simple guy. I don't need that. I'm so simple. And you answer me, and I will always remember. You said it's because you're scared. You're scared to set the bar that high because you're scared to miss it.
Constructing your life is about much more than just building a bank account. Each week, join mindset coach Austin Linney as he interviews guests who are constructing their dream lives and impacting the world around them on a daily basis. If you're an entrepreneur or wanting to start a business, or you just want to hear motivating stories of how others have overcome the odds, you are in the right place. And now for your host, Austin Linney.
Guys, welcome back to Construct Your Life. We're going to talk about... We're not going to talk about the topic I hate the worst. We're going to talk about the word I hate the worst because it makes me feel like I have dreadlocks and I wear flip-flops and I don't wear a shirt. But life coaching, or whatever you want to I call it people motivation / moving.
Why you don't
people.
like, Austin, let me stop you right at the beginning. Why you don't like the term life coaching?
Because people are still trying to figure out what it means. And there's a lot of ambiguity to it. And more importantly, it has a bad connotation. It's like hard money lenders in real estate. They have a bad connotation because there's some shitty ones.
Yeah.
And so life coaching is still trying to look. 90% of my stuff is not to tell you or not whether I am good at what I do. I know I'm good at what I do because my clients get results. That's not ego. It's just the truth because I care.
Yeah.
90% of my job is to get over the other shitty coaches that have fucked people over.
Oh, okay. I see.
So I try to stand out of the herd. Yeah.
Because there's a lot of fraud in this field. There's a lot of fraud for sure. So you need to fight against the other fraud. It's like the people that sells car, right? They need to fight against, like, every time a client comes in, they're like, I need to fight against the 5,000 other bad sellers that were.
Do you want to know how you find a good car salesman? It's really easy.
How?
I've done it so great. You go on Google and you find the person at the dealership that has his name come up the most, because anybody that's saying their name, that dude really gets deals done. He doesn't just sell stuff. You call him, and then you be a little New Yorkish. Like, this is a man that sells a lot of cars. You're like, hey, bro, this is what I want. This is what I need in this price point. We going to do a deal? And at that moment, he knows it's go time. He doesn't want well, I'm thinking about coming down there on Wednesday. And
no, there's no fucking around for sure.
He's a high performer, right? My favorite quote of all time is only another fisherman can see a fisherman from afar.
Yes, absolutely. What do you think? Like, I'm curious now that I can ask a bunch of questions about your life coaching. What you do for a living, life coaching. I don't know, for lack of a better word. Give me a better word. You don't like life coaching. What do you do? There's no better word.
No.
What do you call it?
You know what I have on my nameplate at my office? Head mover of shit. So.
Head mover.
No, listen.
What?
Listen.
Yeah.
I am here to be a steward towards the things that you want. And honestly, life coach, mindset coach, whatever you want to call it, is the best terminology for it. It's just very hard to package. I'm going to be happy. Like, those are not quantifiable terms that the American public deals with.
Yeah. You know what I've observed, like, working with you for a few years and getting to know your clients as well, because sometimes you refer me some clients, they become, my podcast clients and all that. I think your biggest gift as a mindset / life coach, your biggest strength is you spark people. You really have something to that, and it speaks to me. I came out from a challenging, let's say, 2 years, between like the big project I did in France and my divorce and all that. you never really coached me directly, but you always gave me some friends advice, some friendly advice, right? And it was always that struck me. Like, you have a gift to spark people. I don't know how to explain it, but you have that gift, man, of you see just a tiny spark and you the gasoline on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and after that, of course, it must be hard for the client to keep going with that because this is freaking intense. Someone
Well,
sparks you, and you need to keep going.
I think one of the tricks that I learned from where I started to where I am now is it used to baffle me when their new spark went out. And so now I just tell them ahead of time it's going to happen.
Now you know.
And it really, like, what are you talking about, right? And 9 times out of 10, I am forcing them somewhere they don't want to go, right? Because they want to run. They've hired a coach.
Yeah.
They're excited. And I'm kind of like got my hand on the emergency brake. And I'm just like pulling it, and it's driving them crazy.
Yeah.
Because I'm making them sit in the shit they don't want to, and they can't move till we're strong enough to move forward.
Yeah.
And then when it's go time, then we release the brake and we hit it hard. But 9 times out of 10, it's taking them somewhere that they think they can go. Perfect example. Young client. I love the young ones because they'll run through a freaking brick wall. I got a young client right now. He signed up for a half marathon, never really ran before. It's cold. Farthest he's ever ran was like 3 miles, 4 miles. I said, what would it look like if you ran 10? He goes, well, I mean, he's like, I guess I could get to it in the next 2 weeks. I'm like, sure. He went out that day and ran 10 and a half. Now he's signing up for a full marathon.
Nice.
And I'm just like, well, how hard was it? And he goes, well, it was just hard to get started.
That's why I do ultra running. Absolutely. I totally understand that. Absolutely. You were saying something about goals. I don't know if you remember, I think it was more than a year ago. You asked me, so, hey, beginning of the year, so what's your goal this year with your podcast production business? And I told you, I said, I don't know what was my goal at that time. It was probably like 7,000 euros, something like that, you know? And you were like, why not 20? Why not 30? And I was like, oh, no. I'm a simple guy. I don't need that. I'm so simple. And you answer me, and I will always remember. You said, it's because you're scared. You're scared to set the bar that high because you're scared to miss it. And of course, I answer you my go fuck yourself, Austin, which is, which is something common between us. Sometimes we wake up in the morning, go fuck yourself, Austin. That was a great clip. But I will always remember that where you woke me up to my own self and my own ambition, I will always be grateful for that. I had to say it, man. You really impacted my life, my business. You impacted my personal life as well. And I really, really want to be, I'm very grateful. And guys, I never paid Austin to coach me. It's just the way he is, and we work together. We work closely together. So we talk almost every day. So of course it's in your nature to help people, right? But I will always be grateful for that. Always. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for you telling me one or two very powerful and painful truths that made me pivot in my life. And thank you, Austin. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
man.
sir. I'm gonna get another rant coming about this, but I was thinking about this over the weekend. Everywhere I look around, we're living in a vacuum of broken expectations on false narratives.
Yeah.
Injected by other people's opinions.
Yeah. Yes.
I know that was a lot of words there, but walk the bouncing ball with me for just a second, folks.
Mm-hmm.
You're so great, you don't even see how great you are. You're so successful, you don't even see how successful you are. You're so blessed, You don't even see how blessed you are. You're so loved, but yet nothing in front of you loves you. I heard something the other day that changed my life. When you create a mask, you can accept praise, but you can't accept love. And the problem is that most people are placating and then putting masks on in work and public and with their spouses, and they don't ever truly love. And by the way, guys, I'm talking to myself. So we're so damn blessed and so capable of doing whatever we want that we don't even allow ourselves to believe that we have it as good as we have it.
Absolutely.
And I refuse to be a part of the negativity chant that's going around, because we do have such an opportunity here to rewrite the history books, no matter how far or how deep or how bad it's all gotten, which I'm just as guilty of getting caught up in the anxiety of life as anybody else.
Of course.
But what it's teaching me to do is to surrender, and it's teaching me to not have to have all the answers that day. And when you can step back a little bit and you can take some time for yourself and you can be grateful, right? But like really grateful.
Yeah.
And understand that, like, hey, just 6 months ago you were doing this and you dreamed to be it, now you're already doing it, and blah 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 blah. My joke is that we used to be so happy with just like a little, and now all of a sudden everybody's 21 wants to be a millionaire.
I don't know if you remember, but every time you share something with me, like, hey, next week I'm going with that guy, he's a billionaire, we're going on a deal, blah blah blah. What do I always tell you? Do you remember? I always tell you, look back, look behind you where you're coming from. You were a drunk bartender, and now you're gonna meet with a billionaire for lunch for a business deal. You were a drug addict. You were the fucking loser of your family. The guy that your parents look at you like a lost cause, maybe not, but it's important to look back once in a while and see and say to yourself, fuck, I'm coming a long way.
Yes.
I'm coming a long way. My only priority a few years ago was getting drunk and high. And now my priority is like waking up early and be healthy and impacting the world and helping this person and that person and creating a project. That gratefulness starts with the action of you looking back where you're coming from, I think. I think it's super important.
My hope to you is that you can see that you're not, more importantly, you're not as far as you think you are. It's millimeter shifts at best. Yeah. It's a little more discipline and it's a little more vision to get bigger, and that's about it. I mean, it's really not far off. So my hope is that this message hits you somewhere where it needs to hit you, so you can realize and have a little gratitude for what it is that you do, and maybe this is that spark that you can create something more than you're doing currently right now.
Yeah, man.
Well,
that was a good ending of it. I wish I was your podcast producer. That would be the end of the episode. Like, I would fade out the music, put a little sunset image somewhere.
Guys, we have no fun. Send it to a friend, share it with somebody. We'll see you next time, guys.
Bye-bye.
Guys, let me take a minute to tell you about my buddies over at Lead Hub, Ben and Aaron, the best humans I know. Not only are they amazing at marketing for trade companies, but Ben started his HVAC company in his garage, sold it for multi-million dollars. So when this guy talks, I listen. When we took over Dietz Mechanical, we had 22 reviews in 22 years. In 7 short months, we went from 22 reviews to 107. We went from a 4.2 to a 4.7. We tripled our Facebook presence and we tripled our calls. If you're an HVAC, plumbing, electric, landscaping company, and you're looking for a no BS approach to marketing, you're looking for people who have done it before, you got to go to leadhub.net